Now, for those of you who've been playing the game for quite a while now, I'm pretty sure you know the feeling when you saw Mace Windu. You thought he was good. You farmed him. You unlocked him. You're excited. Only to find out that he sucks. And now, reflecting on that memory, I want to go and make a video on 5 characters that are iconic in the Star Wars universe, but their abilities aren't quite mimicked in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. And this video should be great for beginner players, because a lot of beginner players at times just shoot for iconic characters, but the problem is a lot of the iconic characters that you access early on in the game are kind of bad. So let's go get this list going, and first come up to Mace Windu. Already kind of alluded to him, and I'm gonna say I'm probably gonna get a lot of flack because some people will say you should farm this character, and they aren't entirely wrong. But if you are gonna farm this character, let me at least tell you why you should farm him, and most likely why you're never gonna use him. Mace Windu is a pretty accessible character. You can get him in the squad arena store, a hard battle, as well as a cantina battle, so very accessible in the game. And paired with the fact that he's such an iconic character in the Star Wars universe. I mean, he was on the Jedi Council, and technically he's superior over Darth Sidious when it came to lightsaber combat, so a Jedi that not many want to mess with, but for some reason in Galaxy of Heroes he's pretty bad. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys like me or newer players, you're probably chasing after this character, and really the only reason why you want to farm this character is because of his capital ship. Mace Windu currently has the worst ship in the game, but you're gonna get a lot of free shards of this character. Once you finally reach ships, you'll get a lot of shards from this character. I believe it's around level 60 when you can finally access ships. You do a bunch of missions, you get 80 shards for free, which means you unlock Mace Windu for free. So really, not much of a reason to chase after this character in the beginning aspect of the game, but the only reason why you want to 7-star him is mainly because you can get his ship up and running, and secondly, because of the fact that he's needed in order to get these training droids for ships. And if this doesn't scream ancient kits, we have this right here. Something that's not even probably 12 words long, deals special damage to a target enemy and remove all positive status effects. Now, there are so many characters that can do this on a basic alone and do 30 other things on top of that. And going back to the earlier point, very weak damage output right here, but at least it does remove status effects, but it's not frequent enough to make this something worth screaming about. And then the leader on Mace Windu, it's a hot mess. It's a bit outdated. If you're looking for a Jedi that has damage output for Jedi, look for Anakin Skywalker. You get offense output increase, you get critical damage bonuses, you get bonuses when someone evades. Mace Windu just doesn't really offer that much, and the only neat thing, I guess, is that you get to recover 5% max health when scoring a critical hit, which isn't that crazy, but it's something different from compared to the other Jedi. And probably the biggest disappointment for Mace Windu is his unique ability. Now, believe it or not, Mace Windu has been getting minor reworks over time. I believe he's been picked up like once or twice in the past, and they keep trying to address his Shatter Point unique, and there's just so much wrong with it. First of all, a 45% chance to expose a random enemy. Do you realize that a Jedi training raid team can expose left and right? It can't be evaded, can't be resisted, all this crazy stuff. And Mace Windu only has a slight chance, not even a 50% chance, to apply a single expose. And the biggest problem is, if there's a taunting character and let's say someone got exposed outside the taunter, Mace Windu won't be able to hit that character with the expose. Sticking with Jedi for a few more moments, let's talk about Kit Fisto, because this is another character that a lot of beginner players can access, very easily accessible. You can get him on the cantina table, Battle 4F, and pretty much this is the character I definitely see people gravitate towards. So I remember when he became free to play, a lot of new players were chasing after him, and really, I haven't seen that much of Kit Fisto be used. Even when there was a Jedi meta way back when, he never really had a moment to shine. The leader ability is absolutely worth it. You get some tenacity, you also get some defense, 25% tenacity and 45 defense just for Jedi. Wow, great job, Kit. You're making us proud here. Too limited to Jedi, and even at the beginning when you don't max them out and as a beginner player, not getting that much of a bonus, and even when maxed out all the way, there's just nothing going on for Kit Fisto with this leader ability, and there's far better Jedi as a leader. Even Mace Windu is a better leader than Kit Fisto if you had to choose one. And his unique ability, very, very basic at the beginning stage, at the end stage. There's a lot of beginner players that are a lot more complex than Kit Fisto here. You get a plus 35% counter chance, he might come back and hit you with maybe 3,000 damage. And he gets plus 20% offense. If I gave you a 20% raise and you only have $1 per hour, you're not really getting that much of a raise overall. So really, there's not much reason to chase after Kit Fisto here. I mean, again, kind of going back to an earlier point, so many other great Jedi in the game. We have Anakin, we have Ezra, Qui-Gon Jinn, Barriss, Kanan, Luminara, even Jedi Counselor is better than Mace Windu and also better than Kit Fisto. Aayla Secura, another great example. I mean, again, there's a lot of great Jedi out there, so if your main concern is getting Grandmaster Yoda, there's a lot of other great options out there, Ahsoka Tano and so forth. I mean, to kind of put some salt on the wound, look at Jedi Knight Guardian. They have a lot more stuff going on, and they're not even iconic like Mace Windu or Kit Fisto. So kind of driving the point, iconic characters doesn't always equal a good character in this game. So this is another one of those characters that might bring some backlash because it's not the worst character in the game, but by no means is it even close to like a 3 out of 5 character. And that character is Commander Cody. Now keep in mind, this is a video about iconic characters in the Star Wars universe that aren't really good in Galaxy of Heroes, because the whole concept is beginner players might be chasing after iconic characters, and Commander Cody is a pretty iconic character in my opinion, and seems like a character that's really cool. Like, ooh, Commander Cody, clone trooper, calls in all the clones to assist. Has a lot of cool things going on here. Look at the health and look at the protection, 13,000 and 16,000. Granted, probably didn't do any mod efficiency here, and it's not gear 12, but at gear 11, that is pitiful. Wampa could hypothetically one-shot Commander Cody at the very beginning of the battle. That's how weak this character is. Has no durability whatsoever. And the other problem is I have with Commander Cody is that his damage output is so low. He's an attacker, yet his damage output is probably sometimes weaker than characters like Barriss. Might be stretching it a bit there, but overall, for an attacker and a clone, you would think, and especially low health and low protection, you would expect a glass cannon, and he's not a glass cannon by any means. He's got a lot of opportunities to gain turn meter. If this, then 20% turn meter. If that, then additional 20% turn meter, yada, yada, yada. So the text isn't bad. It's just the damage output isn't that crazy. This ability right here, again, not a lot of damage output, especially because it says deal 35% less damage to all other enemies, which is kind of disappointing because not a lot of AoE abilities reduce the amount of damage to everyone else. It's an AoE ability. It's supposed to be doing pretty decent damage to everyone. And the stun is way too limited. You need 2 critical hits to land a single stun. If anything, 2 critical hits to stun multiple enemies. That would be a little bit better. And the problem is at the end game, critical hits are easily countered by Kenobi and other characters of that sort. So a very limited ability. And I guess the other thing is, this ability right here, it sounds cool. This is the first like faction mass assist attack. Having all the clones to assist off Commander Cody was a really cool ability, but the problem is the clones as a whole don't do much damage at all. And the problem on top of that is clones already deal such low damage, and now they're saying deal 40% less damage on all of the assists. I mean, come on. It should be doing 40% bonus damage for clones that are assisting, not 40% less. And we have 3 clone leaderships. Rex is the best, and it's kind of debatable who's number 2. It's either Fives or Commander Cody, but Commander Cody really doesn't offer that much. You would think for Commander Cody, he would grant a bunch of additional offense for his team, but he only grants a 30% additional critical chance, and then on top of that, defense isn't really that great, especially for clones, because their defense is just so low. But pretty much the only use that this ability has at the end game, as I said earlier, is if you want to have an AAT team, but really, it's not one of the best AA teams out there. It used to be, but now it's nothing compared to the other stuff out there. Oh, and on top of that, he's in the bottom 10% for characters with speed, in case you wanted another reason why not to farm Commander Cody right now. Oh, now the second to last character we gotta talk about is Cad Bane.
Cad Bane?
Now, I know for sure a lot of people will be chasing after this character because he's very accessible, and consistently in the Galactic Warstar, when he went free to play, I was so excited. This character used to be a premium character that you only could get in the Chromium packs. Then one day they finally made him free to play. People are farming him like crazy. I was myself, and he is hot garbage. Now, this guy was iconically known for being one of the greatest Jedi hunters, and hunting Jedi isn't really an easy task, but for some reason, even though this guy has anti-Jedi stuff going on, it's really not much he's doing. Kind of like the other characters, he has some stuff that seems like it's a good basis to make better. His basic is kind of got a multi-attack thing going on. I love multi-attacks, but it needs to do more damage, and it's really not giving him enough damage output to make this ability threatening like Princess Leia's basic. Leader ability, I don't know what's going on here. It's a wannabe old Ben ability, but just way more limited right here. I wouldn't recommend this. Bounty Hunter's got a rework recently, and there are so many amazing bounty hunter leaders, and unfortunately, Cad Bane is the worst bounty hunter overall, and his leader ability is frankly the worst as well. And his unique ability, way too limited and not enough threat to Jedi. Jedi have some decent health and protection overall, and even getting that 20% critical damage bonus, he's not putting out enough damage to even churn through the protection and health of a lot of Jedi out there. And the other problem is, way too limited to only attacking Jedi. He needs a unique ability that makes himself better in any circumstance, and maybe a lot more bonuses up against Jedi if you want to be cute and kind of integrate his Jedi Hunter abilities. I mean, unfortunately, just a very bad character. Such a really cool bounty hunter, and unfortunately got zero love with the recent bounty hunter reworks. I mean, his health and protection are very low. Granted, I don't have him maxed out, but when he is maxed out, not a lot of health, not a lot of protection, and his speed is also kind of in that bottom 10% realm like Commander Cody. Oh, I bet you didn't see this one coming. General Grievous is the #1 character you should not farm. He sucks. He sucks. I don't know how many videos I have to make to kind of emphasize the fact that he sucks, but for newer players who don't know me, don't know my history of how I got Grievous, took me like 8 months to farm him free to play when he was only in the shard shop, and then the second I got him to 7 stars, they made him in the fleet store, available in there, and I maxed him out to gear 12, and it's been months and months and months, and still zero use out of this character. Damage output, pitiful. Pitiful. It takes Illuminated Destiny from BB-8 to even get this guy to hit for like 14,000 damage on a critical hit. Other than that, he's doing like 4,000 damage on any day, even at gear 12. He sucks. The other problem is the Separatist tag is absolutely worthless. Doesn't do anything in this game. There's no Separatist synergy in this game as of now. I mean, if it wasn't for the droid synergy, this character would for sure be nothing. He'd be the worst character in the game. But luckily with that droid synergy, you can kind of be cute and try to make him work, but he's not a good character overall. The leader ability. Absolutely worthless. Probably the worst leader ability in the game. Clone Wars Chewbacca has a better leader ability. Kid Fisto has a better leader ability. I'm sure if Mob Enforcer had a leader ability, it'd be better than General Grievous. Ooh, man. He forces a random ally to taunt. Now that could be horrible. He could be forcing, let's say, your BB-8 to taunt, or someone a lot more fragile that you don't want taunting. It's a very random thing, and if anything, this should be an ability where when he falls below whatever amount of health, you pick who gets the taunt. But unfortunately, way too random, way too risky, and not enough benefit. You're essentially protecting a very weak character that can't do anything for your team. But that's gonna wrap it up for today. Again, mainly this was just something I was reflecting on because when I started the game, I see all these cool characters, Mace Windu, Kid Fisto, General Grievous, yada, yada, yada. You think they're so good because in the Star Wars movie, they're so good and you're like, wow, they must be good in the game, but they're not. I guess this video can also be summarized that the Clone Wars characters suck in the game for the most part, but hopefully one day they do get better, and a lot of these iconic characters, especially Mace Windu, Cad Bane, and General Grievous, get a lot better down the road. But let me know down below, are there other iconic characters that you should probably warn beginner players not to farm, because even though they look good in the Star Wars movies, they're not good in the game? Let me know down below. Let's share each other's experiences so we can help other players avoid the mistakes we all made. If you did enjoy this video, go ahead and leave me a like, comment down below, and subscribe so you're not missing a thing. And as always,